Hey everybody, welcome to the Pagan Perspective. My name is Angel and I'm your Wednesday host. And this week we're talking about media that shaped your path. It's inspired by Chloe's post about Harry Potter. It's novicewitchblog.wordpress.com. I'll put everything down below as usual. What media, if any, influenced how you see your path? So I can't say that any form of media, entertainment media, hasn't influenced my path, because that would be untrue. And I think that everything influences your path that comes into your life. So obviously if there is a movie or a television show that represents or is supposed to represent your particular beliefs or path, you're going to connect with it on some kind of level. So I wrote down a few shows. Some are movies, some were books and then movies, and some were just television shows, and what they kind of shaped my path in different ways. The Wizard of Oz was the stereotypical Hollywood cackling witch with the green face and all that stuff, but I had a very rough childhood when I was young, and I connected with the witch on a very different level. I've always been connected to things that are magical or whimsical or what have you, but this was very specific for me because, and also as a child I was always fascinated with witches. I dressed up as a witch every single Halloween. I loved that she could fly away, that she lived in a big protected castle. She was powerful and people were afraid of her. And the reason is because she could fly away and escape, which I wanted to do as a child. She lived in a big protected castle, which nobody could get to her, sort of. And that to me was safety. And people were afraid of her. She was very powerful and people would mess with her, and that was something that I was seeking as a child. So she was sort of a hero to me. I mean, I know she, was the villain in that movie, but for me, I connected with her on a different level. The Lord of the Rings started me thinking deeply about consequences of power and using caution and not using spells for everything in your life. I've read the Lord of the Rings trilogy books and all the ones surrounding them. Not all the ones surrounding them. There's a couple that I can't get through. But for years now. And the not using your power for everything and also using it respectfully and not abusing it was a big was what the lesson I took away from that particular story. Practical magic, this actually got me thinking about herbs and energies, and inner power. Inner power, not even just magical power, but also your inner voice power. Harry Potter started me focusing on community and education, educating the Muggle world about the magical world, and community and building the community that I couldn't see. So I've moved a lot in my life and have had to start over in different communities. And I was thinking the other day that I live in Massachusetts and that it's incredibly difficult up here to find anybody to communicate with. But looking back, I can honestly say that it's pretty much all over the country and maybe all over the world. I haven't been everywhere. So, but the places I've lived on the West Coast and the South and on up in New England now. And the community is probably because of the negativity around witchcraft and anything to do with it. People have had to be very secretive, and that's just kind of been exacerbated into where the community doesn't feel very cohesive anywhere I've been. So Harry Potter, when I watch it, it makes me want to really reach out to the community, and not just the magical community, but also the non-magical community, and educate them on what we're really about. Bewitched showed me that witches weren't just green face, long-nosed, warty women. They were wives, mothers, and friends, everyday people, and not just in costumes. That being a witch was an everyday thing. It wasn't just on Sabbats or when you wanted to do casting. It was everything you do has a magical connection to it. And the last one is The Good Witch. That was on the Hallmark Channel, and that one, she's basically an outsider where she tries to get into this community, and she does it by being very much herself and proud of who she is, and she's not arrogant. She's very humble. She shows compassion, and that when you are an outsider, every time I've had to move and reconnect or connect with communities, I can honestly say that there has been a tad bit of bitterness, a little bit, on how hard it is to connect with people and how offish they are to you. And it becomes very much a process where you feel like, okay, I'm either just gonna give up or and just say screw everybody, or not. And so when I was watching these, it was right after I moved up to Massachusetts, and it made me think, I just need to be who I am, and the people that are going to be in my life and going to stay in my life will stay in my life and accept me who I am, and they won't misjudge me and my actions, and that will mean something. That will be the fact that I can be who I am, and these people are in my life will mean something, instead of just having anybody in my life. So I think that these different television shows and movies and books shaped me on my path, but they also shaped me as a person. And that, I think, I don't want to say is a separate thing, because it's not. You are your practice is you, but I think that there are two parts of you, and so yeah, that's my list. And I do think that things like entertainment do shape you and your path in different ways, and that's the wonderful thing about it. It's of everything that comes into your life, it's a lesson and something that you can look at and learn from. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and as always, I appreciate all the wonderful comments. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below. Always love a thumbs up, and until next week, I will see you guys. Have a great rest of the week. Bye!